Hey, what's up? Hello, I hope you all are doing well. Today's dimly lit video, which I am just gonna call Get Bookish After Dark, because it's now fall here and it's dark outside at this time of day already. Today's video is my Q3 wrap-up, because we are now in October and it is time to talk about the books that I read in the 3 prior months, July, August, and September. This wrap-up, unlike others, is blessedly short, and I am excited to talk about both of these books a little bit. All 3 of these books are books that I read with my library book club. Interestingly, I only read 3 books in those 3 months, which is a little short for me. Normally I read a bit more than that, but what can I say? It was a busy summer. And the first book I want to talk about a little bit is How Much of These Hills is Gold. This book tells the story of 2 children who are completely impoverished and they are executing a burial rite for their father who has just died, and they are taking him across the American West. And a bunch of my fellow book group folks really didn't enjoy this book very much. I think the writing was difficult for them, and the characterizations of a lot of them were challenging. There were a couple really good characters in here to whom the book definitely belonged, but I actually DNF'd this book. I did not finish it because I was so uncompelled, and I was disappointed that I didn't finish it. Very disappointed in myself rather than the book, that I couldn't manage to keep my attention on it, because they are making it into a television series, and the book has also gotten such praise as a debut novel. And I really wanted to like it, I really wanted to enjoy it, and I think it'll have to be something that when I have a little bit more brain space, I return to, sort of with a good idea in mind about what is going on here and what it's about, that I come back to this and try it again, because I really did want to enjoy it. I really wanted to like this book, and just couldn't get into it. I don't know what it was, but I'm willing to give it another go. The next book we read is When No One Is Watching by Alyssa Cole. You may have seen that Bex and I both read this book this summer, and we did a dual review of it together in this very same place, so I won't say too much about it here. You can go ahead and watch that video if you would like. It's going to be much more detailed and thorough and give you a good explanation. But Alyssa Cole is predominantly a romance writer, and this was her first thriller book, and it was a thriller about gentrification, and is a story about the insidious nature of large companies coming in and breaking and burning and trying to rebuild communities to pretty much capitalistically benefit themselves and not really care about the historical nature of where people have lived for generations. So this was a very interesting story, very casual, as Rebecca notes in our review, very casually written. And if you are looking for something that has the tone of a romance novel, like the writing style and sort of the ease of understanding to the text and to the dialogue, but the content and the plot and the gripping nature of a thriller. I know it sounds like those 2 things don't really go together, but that's what this is. Alyssa Cole has a very sort of, not easy isn't the right word, but she has a writing style that is accessible, and I don't mean that in a pejorative way. She has a very accessible writing style and enough handle on how to string a story together, because when you write romance, you have to really think about all the different characteristics of the plot ahead of time and how to weave a really convincing story with enough buy-in from a reader to make them committed to the final end product. So she knows how to weave a little bit of a mystery, and that's very obvious in this book. Interestingly, my book club felt that this book was too heavy-handed, and I don't agree. I think it was exactly what it intended to be, and the points that were trying to be made were obvious, and it was all very, very clear. But again, if you want to see both my opinion and Beck's opinion, you can go ahead and watch that other review as well. And then most recently, I read The Starside of Bird Hill by Naomi Jackson, and I read this with my book club as well, and this is the story of 2 girls, one who is about to turn 16 and the other who is 10, who their mother is from Barbados and they live in New York City, and they are sent to New York City by their mother for a summer to stay with their grandmother. And in the time that they are there, they have such this coming of age time, and it sort of gets very dark, and they learn about their family and their past, and This is just a very beautiful story. It is heavy with wisdom, not only from the grandmother character, but from all sorts of other auxiliary characters in this book. I really enjoyed this. I'm pretty sure this was my first 5-star book of the year. I rated this book pretty highly, and I also did a review on it where you can watch that for more information if you're intrigued. But I really enjoyed this, and I also really enjoyed listening to the audiobook. Which was read by a woman who knew how to do all of the correct pronunciations and accents and dialect for Barbados as an island. And if I could recommend the book at all, I would highly recommend the audiobook. And that's it. Those are the 3 books that I read in quarter 3. In quarter 4, I expect that number to definitely be higher. My book club right now is reading Quan Barry's We Ride Upon Sticks, which is fascinating, and I'm excited to talk about it here in a video as well. And then soon I will be getting to the rest of the books on my list that I need to read because it's ridiculous, and our new picks for our Shelf Sisters series, so stay tuned, those will be coming. As always, thank you so much for watching. Anything that you might want to know about us is of course in the description. I hope you're having lovely weeks and lovely lives, and we'll see you very soon. Definitely thought there was a spider about to descend directly in front of my eyes.